Ravens game is behind us. Steelers week. It is Pittsburgh Steelers week. Lock it in. Lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up, baby. Big game coming up here between the Browns and the Steelers. And you know what? Before we jump into the latest news and rumors on your Cleveland Browns, I want to share a quick video from our Steelers Talk host, Jack Sperry, because before we started filming today, we were all sitting on the bullpen, as we call it here at Chat Sports, and Sperry was talking a lot of shit about the Browns, to be honest with you guys. I was like, you know what, Sperry? Let's actually see you back it up. Let's see you say this on camera, and let's see the dog pound react to it. So you know what? Roll the tape, Trace.
Browns fans, you guys know what happened last time. The Pittsburgh Steelers, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, they took your lunch money at Acrisure. This time in Cleveland, it's going to be the same story. F the Browns report, F Petey, F the Browns. The Steelers are sweeping. Get those brooms out. We're coming for you.
So if you work with a Steelers fan, or you have a Steelers fan in your neighborhood, in your friend group, or in your family, I mean, prayers to you if that's the case. But you know what? I can't stand our Steelers guy. I think we all know who that is in our group. So if you can help me out and beat Steelers Talk here at Chat Sports to 100 subs, because that's the number we are racing to, do me a big favor and hit that sub button down below. Now, let's jump into the latest news and rumors, starting with this. Michael Carter was released by the Jets. So he's going to go to waivers. 24 hours will go by. It's just like your fantasy football league. Teams can put in claims for waiver wire additions. And I want to have a little conversation about whether or not the Browns should claim Michael Carter. He had a good rookie season for the Jets. Last year, he didn't do a whole lot. This year, he has been RB3, virtually no role on the team, 8 carries for 38 yards. And I'm thinking the Browns running back room has seen some dramatic improvements the last couple of weeks. And we knew it would take some time post Nick Chubb to get the ground game going. But even without Nick Chubb, this team is averaging 4 yards a carry. And so I think there's a conversation to be had of the Browns could stand to improve in the running back room. If they think Michael Carter is an improvement over Pierre Strong Jr. and they want to add another back to the backfield to kind of lighten the workload for Jerome Ford, keep guys fresh for longer, I could see Andrew Berry kicking the tires on adding Michael Carter. I also saw Elijah Moore tweet out a whole bunch of emojis, including the always tantalizing eye emoji about Michael Carter coming to the Browns. So just keep an eye on Michael Carter, maybe as a Browns waiver wire addition. Now, let's jump into some news and rumors today, starting with Deshaun Watson. Is he fully back, right? Is he exactly what the Browns were thinking they were going to get when they traded heaven and earth for him and gave him a $230 million contract? I give it 3 Bernie heads. I'm not quite at 4 Bernie heads, believe it or not. Mostly, actually, it's almost all just because of the 2 pick sixes. And Watson joked about it after the game. He went up to AVP on the sideline. He's like, I can't fucking believe it. Another pick 6 right off the bat. But Deshaun Watson has shown us a lot of the great star plays we saw from his time down in Houston, and we are getting closer and closer to that. I do find it a bit interesting, though. If you look at Deshaun Watson's stats from his first 6 games last year to the 6 games he has played this year, they are somewhat identical, which feels weird because he has looked way better than he did last year. And we're getting closer and closer to his Houston days. But I think it's a little bit early to say he is 110% fully back because we know there is just a little bit more left on the bone, right? And I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson's been bad. This is not an anti-Deshaun Watson thing. This is just an acknowledgement of Watson has been better. Watson has improved week to week, it feels like, but I still feel like there's more out there. I still feel like we're just scratching the surface, which is scary for the rest of the league because with this defense and Dustin Hopkins and the offense still not flying at its cruising altitude, oh, you're telling me they can get better? I mean, even right now when they're playing their B game, they're still putting up 25 points a game. Imagine what they're going to be like when they have reached that cruising altitude. It's going to be scary. We are seeing, though, more and more and more big plays from Deshaun Watson, right? With his legs, 16-yard run against the Ravens to get them into field goal range, big-time throws down the field all over the place. The only thing we're really missing from Deshaun Watson is the easy throws, right? The little checkdowns, right? The crossing routes, the short curls, the stick routes. the, hey, we need 5 yards, throw it to the sticks and move the chains kind of routes. It's the short and easy throws that are giving him more difficulty, oddly enough, than the big time throws down the field. So those are easy things to clean up. And when you've got a shoulder injury and you have to throw just 10 yards, well, you don't really throw your whole body into a 10-yard throw. But when you're throwing 35, 40 yards down the field, well, that's a whole body movement. So that's going to take a little bit of pressure off your shoulder to deliver all that power. But when you're throwing just 5, 6 yards, that's all arm right there. And so that arm getting better and better by the week, those short and intermediate throws are going to improve. But be honest with me. Is Deshaun Watson back to being a top 10 quarterback? I apologize for not having a full voice today. I'm not even that sorry, actually. I take a badge of honor knowing I lose my voice every Sunday for this team. Hurt, not injured, baby. So is Deshaun Watson back to being a top 10 QB? Second story item for today, Denzel Ward. Is he playing on Sunday against the Steelers? I'm going to give it 3 Bernie heads. So I think he's definitely on a good path to play this Sunday against Pittsburgh, but I can't quite verify it 100% just yet. And I'll explain why in just a moment. But really quickly, a shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. Now, you're like, Petey, what is Prize Picks? Well, it's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. So here's who I'm rolling with for this upcoming week of games. I like the more on CJ Stroud, 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's been awesome so far. I was just blown away to see a Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce combination for half a touchdown. So I'm putting all my faith in Travis Kelce to get a touchdown there. Jalen Hurts, more than half a rushing touchdown. You know there's going to be a tush push all the way to the end zone. And then CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys, 89.5 receiving yards. I'll take the more on that one. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Now, the link for that is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. So Jeremy Fowler dropped this bomb on us, bomb's a strong word, this news item on us yesterday. And he said, source classified Browns corner Denzel Ward's injury from Sunday as a minor neck strain. He's going to be fine, quote. The source said Ward, one of the league's best cornerbacks, took an unexpected shot from Ravens' Ronnie Stanley on a tackling attempt. It was a dirty shot. It was unnecessary. And it's unfortunate because you never want to see your players go down in a dirty, cheap kind of way. But Denzel Ward this year, guys, he's probably having the best season of his NFL career. I mean, 2 interceptions, 9 pass breakups, a dramatic improvement going from a zone defense with Joe Woods to a man defense with Jim Schwartz. Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, both having career years. I expect Ward to be a go on Sunday. Like we said, Denzel Ward dealing with a minor neck strain. But like I'm saying right now, I expect Denzel Ward to be a go on Sunday. So hopefully the Browns will have number 21 on the right side of the field, get Greg Newsome back in the slot, get Martin Emerson on the other side, and have 100% of their corners ready for Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. Third segment on today's show. Should the Browns stick with Darion Christian, the fill-in left tackle, after just one game? Let me give us one Bernie head. I think there is some shreds of truth to the idea of Christian played well. Jed Wills, unfortunately, has not played very well. Maybe you ride the hot hand, and whoever's the better player deserves to play. And that's definitely true. But Darion Christian in Week 10, here are his PFF grades in case you're wondering. Overall grade, 69.6. Pass blocking, 72.3. I mean, we all came into this game sweating a little bit about backup tackle starting for Deshaun Watson as he's continued to work back from a shoulder injury. And there was never really a point I was all that concerned that they were going to let Deshaun Watson take a huge blindside hit or anything. Meanwhile, Jed Wills, definitely want to see him get 100% healthy and come back to this field because he was playing really well before he went down. But Jed Wills' highest PFF grades this year overall grade 69 against the 49ers, run blocking 78.1 against the 49ers, pass blocking 74.0 at the Colts. So the bar for Christian to hold on to the starting job is not unattainable, right? It's not like Jed Wills was out there playing at a Pro Bowl level where he is going to be handed the job back. I think it's early to say after one game that Christian's going to hold on to the starting left tackle job. Let's see how the next 3 weeks roll out, right? I expect overall Wills to take over as the starting left tackle of this team. But if Christian goes out there and he plays some of the best football this offensive line has seen all year, I don't think Kevin Stefanski is going to be in a major rush to transition from Christian over to Wills. So I think there's a real possibility if Christian plays well. It's not that he'll hold on to the left tackle job, but maybe Kevin Stefanski and the crew go, hey, Jed, let's wait till you're really 100%. Like, I know you want to come back after the minimum 4-game absence for being on IR, but if you need an extra week or two, well, maybe we feel confident sticking with Christian until you're really at 100%. That feels more likely than Christian's going to hold on to the starting left tackle job. Now, before we get on out of here, I had a commenter on a recent video say, I want the doghouse. Well, here's the doghouse, dude. Off the leash after the win, Greg Newsome. First career interception is a pick six. He filled in very well for Denzel Ward, meaning, you know what, Greg? I'm that psycho dog owner that takes my dog on walks without a leash because I think I'm so cool and I want to impress the neighborhood. I do not understand those crazy people, and you know who you are in my building. Extra treats goes to Deshaun Watson because a slow start was turned around very quickly in the second half with a bad ankle, 14 for 14, 139 yards, 1 touchdown. Extra treats for Deshaun Watson. And Jordan Elliott is going to be the dog that gets to sleep in the bed, right? You graduate from the kennel, from the crate to the owner's bed, and Jordan Elliott, you're in the bed, not with me, but in this theoretical world where you're a dog, because I've gone way too down far this rabbit hole. Jordan Elliott has played he has played his best football of his NFL career this year. He's blocking field goals. He's making sacks. He's making big plays. Jordan Elliott has had his career saved, arguably, by Jim Schwartz. So hop up on that in the bed, buddy. All right, before we get on out of here, I want to give a quick shout out to a super thanks coming in from Ben Broski. I can't scream it, Ben, because I have no voice to scream. Oh, but Trace wants to scream it. Trace, thank you, buddy.
Let's go, Browns! Let's go, Browns! Let's go, Browns!
Trace doing the hard work for me while I have no voice today. Ben, thank you so much for the super thanks. You're awesome, dude. Let's go, Brownies.